As we know, there are teachers, government servants, farmers, landowners, people doing respectable jobs in those areas. And they are not without money. Actually, they don't need this supplementary benefit of yours if they are allowed to go home. Because according to a news report, I am quoting from your own Daily News newspaper of 15th August. Deputy General Manager, Bank of Ceylon, Mr. I.D. Veeravansa, perhaps, I don't know whether he's a relative of the other Veeravansa, but anyway, the DGM Bank of Ceylon is quoted as saying 500 million rupees, this is on the 15th of August 2009, had been deposited by the IDPs over the last 4 to 5 months. ATM facilities have been opened in the camps with 21,000 new account holders. So this clearly shows that these are not economic refugees, these are not beggars, these are not people without any place to go to. These are not even like the tsunami victims of 2004 in our areas and in the east. Because their livelihood, their homes, their everything, their means of existence were all washed away. And that's what I'm saying, that no, but they can. Of course you can. What I'm saying is, why can't you send them? Because most of them, if they can't go to Bulletu in Kilinochchi, they can go to their relatives and friends, they are saying. No, they must, according to all international conventions, allowed to choose where they want to go. I mean, all of them have relations, friends. This is what they are saying. Let us go home. That is their only single request. They are not asking for money from the ministry. You have been saying so for the last 4 months. Your president promises it every time there is international pressure, but unfortunately nothing like that ever happens. And, okay, you said that to the Indian Foreign Secretary, you said that to the Indian Defense Advisor about 5 months ago that you will do it in 6 months, and then last week you are telling PASCO that you will do it again before January, so we are waiting to see what you all are... Now, are you committing yourself to January 31st, 2010? There will be no more camps in Sri Lanka. No, there won't be any camps where these people are forcibly held. Are you committing yourself to it? Thank you, thank you. But on the other hand, what I'm saying is you don't have to even wait till January. A lot of those who have relations, those who have friends, kith and kin, kinsfolk, allow them to go. Let them, this is their only request, because, Mr. Minister, even though you may want to send them, but the President himself must recognize the right to return of the people, and the people must be allowed to go to their original place or their place of their choice. The resettlement, I am saying, must start immediately, and it must be done under the supervision of an all-party parliamentary committee. This is yes. And this is especially important in the face of allegations that the government is merely relocating people from these camps to similar camps elsewhere to starve off mounting local and international pressure. In fact, I saw Mr. Mawai Senadiraja had made an allegation saying that people who have been allowed to go from this camp have been again resettled in another camp. And I saw an article in the Sunday Times on Sunday, a report by UNOHCHR saying over 2,000 people released from this camp have been again incarcerated elsewhere. Afterwards, please, because I have very little time. And, of course, as Honorable Dinesh Gunawardena would have been advised to do so, I'm just coming to this thing about the mines, Mr. Minister. The standard excuse is we can't allow you to do so until the demining is complete. Of course, many of them I know, I have been told, I have never been there. Many of them respond by saying that they have been living with landmines for the last 10 or 15 years under the tyranny of the LTT, and they can easily live again with them until those are removed. But of course, on the other hand, I think it's a very good thing you're doing about demining the area. So if the demining is now taking place, and if it is an obstacle for the people to continue their demining with the presence of civilians, why don't you ask them to go and live with relations or friends elsewhere? They have relations in Colombo, they have relations in Kandy. නෑ ඒගොල්ලන්ගේ පත්තර ඒගොල්ලන්ට කොහෙන්ද පේන්නේ මොන පත්තරේද මොන පත්තරේද හරි දෙන්න කරුණා කරලා දෙන්න ඒවා ඒ අයටත් පෙන්වන්න මොකද ඒ අය නම් දන්නේ ඒ අය බලහත්කාරයෙන් අල්ලගෙන ඉන්නවා අනිත් එක ඊට පස්සේ මේකට උත්තරේ දුන්නාම දෙවෙනි උත්තරේකුත් දෙනවා මේ මයින්ස් කතාව මෙතුමා කිව්වා ලෑන්ඩ් මයින්ස් කතාව හරි ලෑන්ඩ් මයින්ස් එක ක්ලියර් කරන්න ඕනේ ඒක සාධාරණයි ඒත් මේ මිනිස්සු කියනවා අපි මේ ලෑන්ඩ් මයින්ස් එක තමයි ජීවත් වුනේ අපිට ඒවත් එක්ක ඒව කරනකන් ඒ පැත්තෙම ඉන්න පුළුවන් කියලා මමත් හැබැයි කියනවා ඒක බාධකයක් නම් ඒක ප්‍රමාද වීමක් නම් එහෙමනම් මේ මිනිස්සුන්ට තමන්ට කැමති තැනක ගිහිල්ලා the freedom of choice they must have the choice they have relations everywhere in this country I'm sure there are friends and well-wishers who would like to keep them let them do so ඊට පස්සේ අපි තව විනාඩි 5ක් විනාඩි 3ක් ගන්නම් I mean පොඩ්ඩක් ඉන්න then the next excuse is of course එහෙනම් මම දිනේෂ් ගුණවර්ධන අමතුමාගෙන් මම තාම ඔය පැත්තේ මම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂ කෙනෙක් මහින්ද රාජපක්ෂ පෙරමුණේ නැති වුණාද මම තාම ශ්‍රී ලංකා නිදහස් පක්ෂේ මම කොහෙවත් ගිහිල්ලා නැහැ ඒක නිසා ඒක දැනගෙන අපේ ඇමතුමා මට විනාඩි 3ක් දීම ගැන මම සතුටු වෙනවා 5ක් මේ නෑ ඊට පස්සේ මොකද and then the next excuse is that there are 20,000 suspected LTT cadres within the camps so until those people have been identified that they can't allow to go this also raises two very interesting questions one is the credibility and veracity of figures released by the Ministry of Defence. For example, on 10th February 2008, I have the articles, the Army Commander said, LTT has around 5,000 fighters remaining. 5,000ක් ඉන්නවයි කියලා 2008 පෙබරවාරි මාසේ කිව්වා. 2008 සෙප්තැම්බර් මාසේ කමාන්ඩර් කියනවා කොටි 11,000ක් මරලා තව 4,000යි ඉතුරු වෙලා ඉන්නේ කියලා. ඊට පස්සේ having decimated the LTT in May this year what is very curious is suddenly how did this figure suddenly rise up to 20,000 when the government itself said the LTT is so much in their own news items and websites. It is obvious that the numbers of the LTT seems to be fluctuating according to the whims and fancies of the defense minister. And secondly, it raises the question of legality of incarcerating 280,000, even if it's true, because of the inability of the authorities to identify 20,000 people. This form of collective punishment for the misdeeds of a few is illegal and totally unacceptable in a democracy. In fact, මම අවසාන වශයෙන් එක හොඳ උදාහරණයක් කියන්නම්. 1991 දේශප්‍රේමී ජනතා ව්‍යාපාරයේ දකුණේ ඉතාමත්ම ශක්තිමත්ව ඉඳලා බොහොම භයානක වැඩ කරන කාලේ එවකට තිබුණ ආණ්ඩුව ඒ දේශප්‍රේමී ජනතා ව්‍යාපාරයේ හිටපු තරුණයෙක් හොයාගන්න බැරි වුණාම එයාව අත්අඩංගුවට ගන්න බැරි නිසා ඒ තරුණයාගේ තාත්තා ගිහිල්ලා පොලිසියේ තියාගත්තා. ඒ ආණ්ඩුව තමයි ප්‍රේමදාස ආණ්ඩුව. එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයේ ඉතිහාස වෙනස් කරන්න බෑ. ඒ වෙලාවේ එකකොට මේ ආණ්ඩුවේ මේ මොන යකාගේ නීතියක් යටතේ කියලා මේ සුද්ධ සිංහලෙන් කවුරු හරි ඇහුවා. පාර්ලිමේන්තුවේදී මොන යකාගේ නීතියද කියලා මේ මගේ වචන නෙමෙයි මෙන්න මෙහෙම ඇහුවේ.